Hi and welcome to day 4 of our Facebook Lives about showing up. I want to start with the question, what does showing up mean for you? And how do you feel about showing up for yourself? I want to give you some insights in that, but first I want you to think about that, especially for those that are watching the replay, or if you missed the beginning of this, go back and watch the beginning, because this is a really important aspect of showing up and to see how it works. I'll repeat that again. To see how, I want you to see how showing up works for you and how important it is. Just think about that. How important is showing up for you, whether that be, you showing up for yourself. Has anyone got anything to say about that? Anyone want to leave any comments before I go any further? It's a non-judgment space. As long as you're thinking about that answer, that would be okay. So when I ask you, what does showing up mean for you and how important is it for you? Think about this when you think about your answer. How important is it for others to show up for you? And I think you'll find that your answer is that it's very important. And you'll notice that more so when they don't show up for you. So you might have scheduled an appointment that someone cancels or forgets about, hasn't written it actually down in the diary and said, we haven't actually got you booked in. You make a lunch date with a friend and they cancel last minute. How do you feel when that person doesn't show up for you? And it's basically irrelevant as to whether they have a very valid excuse or reason, because the feeling is the same. You feel let down, you feel disappointed. So that means that people showing up for you is very important. So the essence of that importance is that you need to show up for yourself, because everybody is a reflection of ourselves. And basically, we project out into the world our beliefs, our thoughts, and our feelings. So if we're really feeling negative about ourselves, about how we're showing up or not showing up, you'll find that at that particular time, you will have people that are not showing up for you. And when you're feeling really good about yourself and you are out there showing up for yourself, you'll find that others are doing the same. So next time something either good nor not so good happens, just take a little look at that and say, hey, no, I'm either doing really well in life now, I'm actually showing up for myself, or hang on, where aren't I showing up? Where do I need to be more present? Where do I need to make a little more effort, or perhaps a different effort in showing up? So showing up is about making a commitment, and firstly making a commitment to yourself. You're making a promise to yourself that you will fulfill whatever it is that you've decided. So whether it means that you're going to eat really well this week, you're really going to watch what you eat, you're going to have less technology time, you're going to stay really focused, you're really going to put in an effort to get to the gym more often. And how do you feel, say, at the end of the week, after you've made that decision at the start of the week? How do you feel at the end of the week? Because that will determine how your next week goes and the following weeks. So if you've stuck to that commitment and that promise to yourself pretty well, then you're going to feel really good about yourself, and you're going to reaffirm that, yes, perhaps, you know what, you're doing something that's good for you're on that right track. Think about how you feel. How do you feel at the end of that week? You're feeling pretty much on a high, not only because of what you've achieved, but you've actually followed through and stuck to your decision. You've actually saying to yourself, yep, I've got this, I can do it, I believe in myself. And then on the other hand, if you haven't fulfilled that commitment to yourself, you've gone back on that promise, and for whatever reason you haven't done that, how do you feel then? It's not just the thoughts that are going through your mind and the words that you choose, it's how you feel in your body as well. And that's where all your stuff comes up, because you haven't showed up for yourself, you haven't been there for yourself, you haven't supported yourself, been your best friend, saying, you know what, I really don't want to do this, but I've made a commitment to myself, and I owe it to myself to at least try to give it this week. So you need to be your own supporter, your own best friend, your own cheer squad to help you get yourself through it. Otherwise, at the end of that week, you're going to be saying things like, I can never keep a promise to myself, I always let myself down. You'll be saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. All those negative feelings about how you feel about yourself are going to be coming up. And then you're just going to find that you're sliding further and further down that ladder. And you don't want to be doing that. So this is why it's always good to review each day. And when I say how you performed each day, it's about it's how you showed up for each day, how you presented yourself in each aspect of the day. Did you tick things off your to-do list? And you know what? It's not about getting them all done. It's about making an effort. And that's all that we're asking here, is that you show up and take some action. It's not about climbing that, as we talked about yesterday, climbing Mount Everest all in one day, ticking off that whole list, because we're tempted to add so many things onto that list that we can never possibly achieve by ticking all those things off. And that is a self-sabotage a system where we deliberately add so much on there, and we know that we're never going to achieve crossing everything off that list. So therefore we can validate that I told you you couldn't do it. I told you you're not enough. I told you that you're not worth anything. I told you, it's going to be validating all the negative stuff again about yourself. So it's about being present and recognizing the effort that you've made, that you've actually putting in some sort of effort. And you'll find that even if you just put in a little bit of effort each day, you'll be excited and you'll really see results. And the more you see and the more you feel, you're going to want to do more. So we also spoke about that quote by Woody Allen about 70% of success is showing up. And now we ask about what is the other 30%? Where does that come in? What is that made up of? So that other 30% is the results, the outcome, the desired goal, whatever it is that you want to call it. So those results, we want to look at those results and say, number one, are they achievable? Number two, if we've showed up, we've put in the effort, we want to look at, have you recognized what you've achieved? Because it's really easy to say, you know what? Yeah, that was great. I did really well. But you know what? This is what I want, or I wanted a bit more, or I'm really not happy. I did it, but I'm not happy with the result, or whatever. Basically, what's happening is that you're downplaying your results. You're not allowing yourself to recognize, see, or feel what you've achieved, what you've created in this moment. And therefore, basically to you, you're feeling that you haven't achieved anything because you've now changed that benchmark. You've now moved that benchmark to something higher, and it's not what you want. So that's a really important thing. And the other thing is that I want to ask you about showing up is that, are you looking at something that basically has a limit, has a restriction? So let's use work as a good example. That if you want to be seen for creating all the results, showing up at work, putting in all the effort, giving 100%. But you know what? At the end of the day, you're just the middleman. You're just the man that has to be in there, do your job, but you'll never get recognized for what it is, because it's the person on the next level above or even higher that's going to say, great, your team they're going to take the credit for what their team have done to help them get to the results. So it's not that you're not recognizing it yourself, but you're not ever going to be recognized for that effort or that showing up that you're putting in. You're always going to be fighting a losing battle. So maybe it's about choosing where to show up. And I'm not saying at all don't give 100% at work, but the thing is, the difference there is knowing that it's not going to be recognized. So maybe you need to show up elsewhere as well. I did have another point in regards to showing up there. Oh, okay. So something else is about the difference between showing up for what your soul desires and the difference between showing up for what your ego desires. So maybe you've decided, you know what, I really want to do such and such. I really want to write this particular book. And you start writing, you're writing, and then all of a sudden you hit a brick wall, and it doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter how you go about things, but that book is just stagnant. It's not coming along, and you're getting nowhere. So maybe that's where you have to take a look and say, is this the book that I'm meant to be writing? Is this the book that my ego has decided, yes, I want to write, or is it the book that my soul wants to write? So you need to have a look at why you're hitting these brick walls, and you have to look really at how you feel in the body about things. It's not your head that's going to tell you something that's right or wrong for you. It's how it makes you feel. If something lights you up, makes you feel really light in your body and expanded, that's something that's good for you. If when you think about something and you feel nauseous, you feel really tight, your muscles clench, your energy feels really constricted, maybe you need to reconsider and think, maybe that's not the right avenue for me, or maybe that's not the right avenue for me at this particular time. So show up where your potential for achievement is commensurate with your willingness to put in the effort. And then it's the rest that will take care of yourself. Take care of itself, because things are in alignment. So things will then flow and things will become easy, rather than you're facing resistance because you're trying to make something happen that's not meant to happen. So I want to leave you with that to think about today. Think about, what's working in your life and what's not working in your life. And maybe you're going after something that you're not meant to be going after right now. Maybe that's either not for you at all, or it's not for this time. And what you can perhaps look at a different avenue right now, something that actually makes your soul sing, makes you sing, makes everybody happy. And then you'll find that showing up is really easy because you're doing something that you want to do. So thank you everyone for watching today. Thank you to everyone that said hello and hello back. And tomorrow will be our wrap up for showing up, and I'm yet to choose what that's about yet, but I'm sure it will be something interesting. Thanks again for watching, and if you're enjoying these lives, please feel free to share with anyone you feel that needs them at this time. Thanks again. See you tomorrow. Bye.